It's the Balance Doctor. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real relevant and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
All right, everyone. Yes, it's the Kim Jacobs Show, and we are here today with some of the authors from the amazing book called Rise Up, Women Who Lead Building a Legacy. Quite excited to have you ladies here today. I know that some of you are muted, but I just want to say hello. I'm so glad to have you in the studio audience. Listen, as you all grab your virtual seats, go ahead and tag your friends, your family, your coworkers. Let everyone know that the Kim Jacobs Show is here on the air, and we have a great show lined up for you. We're so excited. And I see you in here in the studio, Dr. Nefertina Serrano. Are you ready to pop into the studio? Let me know by giving me a thumbs up. All right, all right. Glad to have you as well, Dr. Serrano. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Doing
Great.
A little bit slow in the moving this day, but I'm good.
But you know what? God is good, because the fact that you are in full recovery after having major surgery, and to grace us and bless us with your presence is just amazing. And we don't take it for granted. We're so grateful to God that he would allow you to be here with us today. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Listen, everyone, if you have not heard about this book, make sure that you know that it's something extremely extraordinary. So I'm going to introduce right now, in case Dr. Serrano, too, with you recovering, if you need to go on or off or whatever, I know we pull at you a lot as the tribe leader. Feel free to do what you need to do to recover, okay?
Thank you. Yes.
You know that you can pop off whenever you need to. And everyone that's watching know that she just came from a major surgery. And yes, she's still so gorgeous and glowing and still gracing us with her presence. So thank you for being here. Dr. Nefertina Serrano is a relationship expert. She's the marriage CEO. Dr. Serrano is a relationship expert, counselor, inspirational speaker, #1 best-selling author, publisher, certified life coach, and mentor. She is making a difference in the lives of couples and women around the world. She's the co-founder of Covenant Marriages Incorporated, Covenant Rescue 911, which is a 24-hour hotline for couples. Listen, if you are a couple and you are hearing this broadcast today, make sure you know that there is a 24-hour hotline available for couples in crisis, and Covenant Marriages Institute. And her social media handle is marriageCEOs360.com. Dr. Serrano, it's a pleasure to have you. We'll put you in the center here so we can hear from you directly first and foremost. What inspired you to even spearhead this project, Rise Up, Women Who Lead Building Legacy?
Well, it was, one of those things when God speaks to you and tells you what you need to do, you yield a yes. And from the situation with my brother happening, a lot of you out there know that when I lost my youngest brother last year during the COVID season, it was devastating. It was very hard for me. And one of the things that God did in that moment, he decided, I'm not going to allow you to get so far into a slump. I need you to rise up. And that was the word that I heard, rise up. And in hearing that, the Lord just began to speak to me. And this was one of the projects later on that he said, okay, now that you've risen up, it's time to move forward. And so when I heard that, I remembered that, he had spoke to my spirit about doing a book. And here it was. He gave me every single thing that he wanted me to do with this book. And so here we are now.
Wow. And now with women that are dealing with grief, I know because you've had several family members that have transitioned home. What advice do you give people in that situation?
You have to hold on to what you know is true in your heart. Know that you're not alone. In grief and loss of any kind, whether it's through tragedy, through sudden loss, or whether it was something that you knew was going to happen. When that loss finally happens, it is so devastating. And so just know that even though it feels like you cannot get through in that moment, hold on. Hold on, because your change is going to come. You will be able to push through it. Don't let go. It is so easy to really allow that grief to overwhelm you. And so this is why the book, is rise up from the ashes. You rise, right? From trial to triumph. We are overcomers. And the women in this book are filled with amazing stories of overcoming.
Wow. And okay, now this is interesting that you say that, because there are quite a few women in this book. So how many to be exact?
It is 33 women to be exact.
33 women. Okay. And what made you go with that number, Dr. Serrano?
That was, again, it was 33 people was the number that I heard in my spirit. And so that's the number that I went with. I had never thought about doing 33 women before. It was a weird number. It was like, Lord, why 33? But it was what I heard in my spirit. So I went with that. And in a matter of 3 days, we had all 33 positions taken.
That's amazing. And just God put in your spirit who to reach out to, or how, did they interview, apply? What happened?
It was funny because I received direct instructions. And so one of the things was there were a certain number of people, but God had literally said, leave 10 slots for people that I did not know. Okay. And I was obedient in doing that. And so they too got filled up.
Wow. Okay. That's really interesting. Really interesting. So what the biggest thing, the takeaway that you want women that's going to be reading this book that's coming soon, when is it expected to come out?
It is due to come out this summer. So we are expected to launch this baby and birth it out 2021 this summer.
All right. And what do you want the biggest thing for women that are balancing life and they're trying to figure out how to juggle this thing called life? And there's so many hats that we wear. What is it from this show perspective that you would want women to walk away with from this book?
From this book is to just simply know that you're not alone, to know that we are women who build legacy. What is legacy? Legacy is not only about the monetary gifts that we leave in the hereafter. Legacy is about you making an impact in the world today and now, knowing that today you are building your legacy. And so these are women from all walks of life, socialpreneurs, music artists, they're from everywhere, ambassadors of of this country. And so we want you to know that no matter where you are, how far you are, what part of the world you're in, that you are not alone. We stand with you. We are women who rise up and build legacy.
Woo-hoo! All right. Did anyone else want to say anything to what Dr. Serrano just said before I introduce either of you ladies?
I just want to thank her for including me, just for seeing something great in me, things that were prophesied, but they're now coming into fruition. And God used her to have me here. And I just want to say thank you.
Yes. Awesome. Yes. Awesome. How about
I agree. You? Yes, thank you for asking. Dr. Serrano is one of those women that you meet every now and then who thinks about everyone but herself. She pours into the earth what she wants to see plant and grow. And so that's why when she asked me to do this and be a part of it, I said yes without any hesitation.
Same here. I can also speak as well. I was very hesitant because I'm actually I'm actually one of the authors in the book as well. But the thing is, I'm working on a book myself that I was like, well, I'm already in the middle of a huge big book project that I'm doing that's scheduled to be released. And I had went past that deadline with my manuscript and it's completely done, but I needed to tweak a few things. So I said, Kim, how can you dare take on another project whenever you haven't brought the other one to completion yet, right? But something in my spirit, which I am a big believer in my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, put in my spirit, Kim, how could you dare turn down an opportunity to talk about leaving a legacy? What are you going to be remembered for when you pass on? And whatever my story is something that's going to impact somebody else's life. I don't know in what way, shape, or form, but thank you, Dr. Serrano, for choosing me to be a part of this particular anthology. I am honored to be a part of it. And you're a great leader, so I'm excited.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Thank you so
All right,
much.
lots of kudos. Lots of kudos. Tell us the hotline, because you deal specifically with marriages, and I would love for people to know how to get in touch with that crisis hotline. And why did you start that? And then we're going to go on to one of our other guests as well.
Yes, of course. So Covenant Rescue 911 is a 24-hour hotline for couples and families in crisis. And that too came out of a tragedy. We were counseling a couple, and in counseling them, it was the worst of the worst cases scenario. And when we say that, we mean just a whole lot of stuff going on. And so, my husband's heart was so compelled that he just couldn't, he couldn't get this couple off his mind. And so he began to talk to God about it. And out of that, one Sunday morning in service, he began to receive a download on Covenant Rescue 911. And when he inquired, what does that mean, Lord? And God said, if you can't reach them, send someone who can. And so that's how the 911 became, was birthed out in that instance. It was amazing.
And what is the hotline number?
It is a 24-hour hotline for couples and families in crisis, and they can call 855-737-2911.
Say that again.
Yes, 855-737-2911, or simply dial 855-RESCUE-911.
Wow. You got that number, Rescue 911? You can't beat that. That was God ordained in itself, saying to be able to even get Rescue 911. All right. So listen, everyone, you can, and we're going to put that number right here for you to be able to reach out. If you have a marriage and you know that you're dealing with a crisis, here's the number for you to call, Covenant Rescue 911. And it's for married couples. You're struggling, you're dealing in a bad relationship, or you're dealing with something that you feel like is on the brinks. Reach out. It's 855-737-2911. 855-737-2911. And you will reach Dr. Serrano or one of her team members with the Marriage CEOs. Oh, I did that wrong. Okay, I got to do that over. Sorry about that.
Yep.
Marriage
CEOs 360.
Oh, I have that transposed. Okay, CEOs 360.com. So make sure that you know that that's where you can learn more about Dr. Serrano. That's it right there. Yeah. Marriage CEOs 360.com. Thank you so much again for being here with us today. And we are going to go right now to Tracy Shy Simmons. How are you today?
I am good, thank you. Very well.
I'm glad to have you on today. And you know what? I'll just remove you, Dr. Serrano, until you're able to come back on. And again, remember, keep Dr. Serrano in prayer. She does not look like what she's been through. Okay, so she is doing a whole lot right now when she may not be really supposed to be on here like talking about it. So I'm so grateful to God that he's yet still a healer. And it's through his stripes, through Jesus Christ's stripes, that we are healed. That's my belief. Of course, this is not just the beliefs of the show, it's the beliefs of Kim Jacobs personally, okay? So Tracy Shy Simmons is known for her God-given gift as a lead singer for the Grammy-nominated and stellar award-winning Wilmington Chester Mass Choir. Tracy has shared the stage with Kirk Franklin, Kim Burrell, CeCe Winans, Yolanda Adams, Fred Hammond, and Jason Nelson, to just name a few. Tracy has appeared in the Tyler Perry hit stage play Behind Closed Doors and Bishop T.D. Jakes' Woman Thou Art Loosed. Tracy has toured London, Switzerland, South America, and Scandinavian countries. She's recorded 3 solo albums, and her new single, You Love Me, just was released not even a week ago. And guess what? She's already number 5 on the South Carolina Billboard charts. Welcome, Tracy Shy Simmons. How are you?
I'm super. And thank you so much for having me. Just grateful to be here today. Any door that opens, I count it a blessing and a privilege. So I just salute you and thank you so much for having me today.
Well, I'm so glad to have you here today. And listen, I would love for people to know, what is your title of your chapter and what can people expect when they read your chapter in the book, Rise Up, Women Leading, Building a Legacy?
My chapter is From the Ashes to Beauty.
Okay.
And
Wow.
I've been through a lot in my life, a lot of hardship, but I've had a lot of victory in my life, you know, and it balances out. You know, you have to have rain to appreciate the sunshine and rise up. No matter whatever I've had to go through in my life, I've had the lifter on the inside, and that's Jesus Christ. So no matter the obstacle, because I know that's a part of the foundation, and I learned to praise God over the obstacle, you know, because no weapon that is formed against me, it may be formed and they may work very hard at it. However, it will never prosper. It'll never bring me down, because I know the lover of my soul and the lifter of my head. And that's a sure foundation. And that's what I'm talking about in the book, from the hardship to the victory.
I can't wait to read your chapter myself. As one of my co-authors, I'm looking forward to reading all of the chapters, actually. And so dealing with hardships, because even though we're not going to deep dive into the chapter, people will be able to get that. What advice would you give women that they feel like the weight of the world is on their shoulder? It's like, I'm at my wit's end. I cannot deal with any more. You mean to tell me there's more? There is more. And now what? Tracy, what would you advise women to do in that situation?
Well, we have to have balance. We have to have balance. God created us spirit, soul, and body. And a lot of things that we take on, we were never meant to take on. You know, he tells us to lay aside the weight that so easily beset you, you know, and if anything in life begins to take away your peace, take away your joy, then you know it's too much.
Right.
You know, so we have to learn as women to even say no. You know, no isn't a bad word. No means that I have value. I have high self-esteem,
Right.
because I realize that I'm worth it. I'm worth it. And when I realize how much God loves me, and that's the name of my song, my single, You Love Me.
Yeah.
My mother used to always say, you don't love yourself. And I didn't like that, but I had to grow to understand. And I had to go through some horrific situations. Hallelujah. But I came out so much better than when I was in, because of my relationship with the Lord, getting closer, learning how to relate to him, and realizing that he draws me with his love and kindness.
Yeah.
So that's the door that draws me. You have to come correct. If you don't come with anything else, come with love and kindness. And then you have my attention, because I'm a lady. You're a lady. And ladies, we have to even allow the men to be the man. We're not leading, you know, in your relationship. The way it starts, that's probably how it's going to be. And I was so used to just being the lady, the man, just in everything, because we can operate, if we're not careful, in control. And we can see that even in the beginning of the Bible with Adam and Eve. You know, the instruction was given, but we can easily get out of our place, you
Right.
know. And I'm not going to say too much more, but I love being a lady. I love allowing a man to lead and be the man, because I'm confident in who I am, and being in touch with God, allowing the Holy Spirit to guide you, to direct you. He'll tell you no sometimes. He'll tell you when to go. And if you follow that lead, you will be fulfilled.
I love it. I love it. What great advice we're talking today. And wow, let me ask you this. Why do you have the word shy in your title some kind of way? Because you do not appear shy at all.
Well, actually, that's my maiden name. That's my artist name, Tracy Shy. And I got married. So I added my husband's name, Simmons. But that was the irony of it, Tracy Shy. And when I come out to sing, I may be shy. And I'm a little shy today, to be honest with you. But I allow God to show up. And he shows up real big.
Oh, he showed up real big if you're on the stage with Kim Burrell, CeCe Winans, Yolanda Adams, Fred Hammond. And you also just released your new single, You Love Me. Please, before the show ends, at the end of today's show, please be prepared to belt out a tune or two. How many people want to hear this young lady sing to the glory of God? I need you to put a 1 in the comments. If you want to hear her sing towards the end of the show, put a 1 in the comments. If I don't see a bunch of 1s, I don't know if I'm going to let her do it. We can't just give her freebies on the Kim Jacobs show. I'm joking. We love to have you sing just something, even if it's just a little piece. Is that possible?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. And again, later throughout today's broadcast, we'll be hearing more from each of our guests. But I do want to also take an opportunity so thank you for the words of encouragement that you've already shared with our guests today. You can email and definitely reach out to Tracy Shy Simmons right at voiceshy@gmail.com, voiceshy@gmail.com. And we'll look forward to hearing her sing some towards the end of this broadcast. You can also follow her on all of the social media platforms, mainly on Facebook is where she's located. And you can stay connected with her. It's Tracy Shy Simmons right on Facebook, and follow her about her new release, You Love Me, and then also about the new book that's coming out, Rise Up, Women Who Lead, Building a Legacy. All right.
Amen.
So we have here with us next this young lady. Oh, let me see. I see. Is it Dee Carter back there in the studio audience? Let me pull you in. Is that right? You can thumbs up. You ready to be pulled in? All right. All right. Such beauty on this show. How are you today?
Fantastic. I'm so glad to be here.
And am I saying it right? Is it Dee?
Yeah, it's Die.
Oh, Die. Okay, see, I haven't met all of you all, but I can just connect with you through your eyes and through the beauty that you all possess with your spirit. It just radiates through each of you. Okay, so Die, it's a pleasure to have you. We're going to also just get an opportunity. Let me make sure, because I have to stay on task here today, because we have a very special guest that's going to be popping in to talk to us about an important case that was recently brought to closure, and that's attorney Kenneth D. Snow. So if you want to know about this upcoming case that he received significant victory in, make sure that you tag some friends, because right at 11:30 you're going to be hearing from him, a legal moment with attorney Kenneth D. Snow. So, all right, Dr. Renee Allen, how are you today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here today. Let me take a moment and introduce you. And even though right kind of mid-sentence, we're going to be going to attorney Kenneth D. Snow, we're going to come back and say some more with you as well.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. So Dr. Renee Starling, is that right? Starling?
Yes.
Starling Allen. She is the host of Renee Allen and Friends show, and she's also the co-host of the Chris Thomas show with Dr. Renee. That's on Radio 1, and they're going to be rebooting that show coming up really soon, relaunching it. And so you'll be hearing more about that. She uses her platforms to connect like-minded, talented, and extraordinary people. Known for her philanthropic heart, dedication to the betterment of humanity, she is committed to educating, inspiring, and empowering women, men, and children. Her voice exemplifies positive, high magnetic energy, love for all people and all continents, as she is sought out for many prestigious events. My why is, and this is her why is, and this is my why too, so it's all of our, probably all of ours as a mother. Our why is our mother. She's a mother. She's her son, and her immediate family is her why. Her mother, her son, and her immediate family. There are things that she wants to do for her mother so she can feel the gratefulness for her being a part of her entire life's sacrifice for her dad. Her mom sacrificed so much for her dad and for her sisters and for her grandchildren. She simply wants to give and show gratitude back to her mommy. And that is such a beautiful thing to do. She's working tirelessly to get everything back that the devil took and so much more to bless that family that she has. My God, welcome, Dr. Renee Allen. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so excited. Look, I had to stop. I'm in front of the place where I'm having my meeting at 12, the Blue Dolphin in Crofton, Maryland. I am sitting here perfectly after Tracy's interview to speak with you about rising up and leaving legacy with Dr. Serrano.
I am so glad that you are part of this project, and we want to hear about your book title. But I also, before I talk about the book title, I did find out some details about something that's happening for you in June, and I'm going to definitely share this with everyone right quick. Do you all see who's gracing the cover of Speakers Magazine for June 2021? It's none other than Dr. Renee Allen. So there you can get a full detailed glimpse if you go to speakersmagazine.net, and you will be able to see this lovely lady right on the cover. And I'm excited for you, excited to have you here as a part of the project Rise Up, Women Who Lead, Building a Legacy. Tell us the name of your title.
Thank you so much. Look, Dr. Serrano probably knows that better than I. I'm involved in 6 book projects since the pandemic. But let me tell you something. One thing I said for sure, I wasn't going to take any more projects. But when Dr. Serrano called me and talked about legacy, let me tell you, I went way back, y'all. I went way back to like the slavery days, because women of color have always taken a role, even when we didn't have control of our role, whether it was in the fields, whether it was in the house. We always had legacy, even if it was for other people. We are a strong woman. And let me tell you, I was telling Dr. Serrano, she said, that might be too strong. I said, look, we were breastfeeding white babies for their mothers. Look, we've been doing stuff from the beginning of time. So there's no doubt in my mind why we are running boardrooms, why we are now the vice president of the United States. We're a bad race, y'all. Come on now.
That's so good. That's so good. You know what? I can already tell that's probably the best time right there on that note to take a quick break. I am going to pull it back so that I can get ready to pull in and invite our guests. You all can stay here if you like. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm actually gonna put you backstage, and I'm going to pull in attorney Kenneth D. Snow right during our commercial break. Is that okay? Yes, all right, everyone. Today's episode is sponsored by none other than our own attorney Kenneth D. Snow. Attorney Kenneth D. Snow, I'm going to tell you in advance that he said in his own words that, I don't know, really recall when it was the first time that I knew that I wanted to be a lawyer, but he says that I do know that I became a lawyer to speak for the voiceless and to fight for those who cannot fight for themselves, right? So he recalls that I became a lawyer for that reason. His phone number is 704-358-0026, and his email is info@snowlegal.com. Make sure that you reach out to him and let him know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you his way. And guess what? They will do a free consultation for you if you let them know that you heard about them right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. So let's learn more about Snow Legal right quick through a commercial. And you're going to come back and hear some words right with our legal moment with attorney Kenneth D. Snow.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or rideshare, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
All right, everyone. Welcome, attorney Kenneth D. Snow. How are you today?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing even better now that our sponsor, attorney Kenneth D. Snow, is here on the Kim Jacobs Show. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Well, listen, attorney Snow, I think that this is a really great time for your firm to be able to come on and talk about something that was a recent victory. And I would love for you to be able to elaborate more so that everyone watching may have questions, but just even more so be able to celebrate with you today.
Okay. Well, I'll be very brief. We've recently won a murder trial where our client was acquitted. He was in custody for more than 4.5 years. And I believe that I believe he was innocent of what he was charged with. I think he was falsely or wrongly accused of this crime. But unfortunately, the prosecution or the law enforcement saw it one way and they sought to prosecute him. My team and I worked tirelessly on this case, and we were able to get an acquittal, and the jury came back in probably record time. In a homicide cases, it's often that the jury will take several hours. This jury came back in about an hour and a half of being given the case. And so that was a big success for us. And this man is now home with his family.
Wow. Now, what made you take on this particular type of case? And because I always focus, whenever I'm talking about you as an episode sponsor, I primarily focus on like accident, workers' comp, stuff like that. So I'm actually learning something today as well about you.
Well, one of the things I'm blessed to have is I'm blessed to have a good team. And so although I'm a good lawyer, I feel very confident in my skills. More importantly, I have a good team around me. And so when we looked at this case, we were called about this case, and this young man, or this man, had a prior lawyer who resigned and went to work for the prosecution's office. So when I looked at this case, I saw that there were some coincidences in this case that maybe appeared to grab the attention of law enforcement. And I think that's why they charged him. However, but if we look deeply into this case, we could see the inconsistency in the evidence. And but for the fact that we were a zealous legal team, he would have probably found guilty of this crime and would have spent the rest of his life in jail.
Wow. That's unbelievable. And so it's almost, even though I know it's not, I believe everything's a calling. So you being an attorney, in my opinion, is a calling because it's something that you're gifted and talented to do to salt this earth. So I'm super excited that you have that wisdom and that discernment to know what cases would bode well for your firm to take and which ones you feel you can actually get some type of victory in. I wonder, yeah, go ahead.
Well, you know, in the vast majority of our cases, we're able to get a benefit for our clients. In almost all of our cases, we're able to get a benefit for our clients. Certainly, we have been successful. I would say that in the last, I don't think we've lost a jury trial in the last 7 years or so. So we've been successful in that regard. We have been successful in the last 4 murder trials we've had. But it comes down to a team that's willing to work. I can tell you that we have a saying in my office when we have a murder trial that all hands on deck. That means even if your job is just to put mail in the mailbox, that means you're on call for that entire time, the week before and the week in between. Typically, a murder trial will last for about 2 weeks. And so my staff is on call. They all are aware that there's no excuses. There's no vacation time. There's no boo time. If I call you in the office at 2 a.m. in the morning, they know that they should come in the office.
Well, that sounds like the Kim
Yeah.
Jacobs show, because I just called Cassandra and Shannon in the middle of the night. I was like, and we have this saying called, you only have one job, even though they may have 50, right?
Yeah,
So all
that's
hands
absolutely
on
right.
deck. Interesting.
All hands on deck. And I think we would be surprised, Kim, how many people are wrongly accused of a crime. We think that law enforcement is perfect. No, law enforcement is certainly not perfect, not at all. And sometimes I don't think it's intentional, but I think certainly in this country, people of color will get sometimes a short end of the stick when it comes down to representation. And representation does matter. Representation does matter. I can tell you that because I know, I am convinced that but for a team that was willing to stay up at late hours, willing to visit the crime scene a number of times with my investigators, with my team, I was willing to get the feedback from even my legal assistant in this matter. We work together as a team, and oftentimes there's some lawyers that aren't willing to do that. They may be a good lawyer,
Right.
but they're not willing to go beyond the call. And my team is always willing to go beyond the call to make sure that we look at every piece of evidence, that we question everything, that we fight zealously, that we don't cave into the state. Now we respect our colleagues on the other side, but when they come up against us, they understand that we're going to put up a fight, and we're going to fight for someone as if they're our own loved one.
Interesting. Very, very good information. Listen, I want to make sure that I give the studio audience a chance to comment and also ask some questions, because in cases like this, to see that you did win in such a short record amount of time is admirable, but it's also something that allowed this man to be back with his family. And I believe that that's ultimately the goal. How did the family respond whenever they saw that there was going to be a victory in this case after he had spent already 5 years, you said, behind bars?
Yes. I can't explain how grateful the family felt. He was a immigrant, a legal citizen, legal resident in this country, but he was a Mexican, but a fine human being. And the thing that I thought of, Kim, is that if we were in a foreign country and someone who did not look like us represented us, will that person fight for us as hard as you want him to fight? And that concerns me. And I wanted my client to know that I didn't see him as anyone but a human being, and that I was going to fight for him as hard as I would fight for one of my loved ones. And we did so. We didn't cut any corners in this case. We made sure that, again, we looked at every piece of evidence. And I want to give credit to my team. Attorney Adrienne Satchel was my co-counsel in this matter, who is a stellar lawyer. She's a new lawyer, but has great instincts. And I can tell you, Attorney Satchel can find a needle in a haystack.
Awesome.
She looks through numerous documents, emails, text messages, and she'll find that one piece of evidence that makes the world of difference. So I am grateful to have her on my side.
That's awesome. Awesome. I'm grateful to have her on your side as well, and grateful to have you as a sponsor here on the show. Let me go back and see what some of the questions are that are coming in. Okay. So Dr. Richard Serrano says, congratulations on your victory. And
thank
let's
you.
See. Courtney Jacobs says, wow. Oh, breastfeeding. Wow. That's back for the other episode. Sorry. That's what Renee said right before. She was saying the African-American women were breastfeeding white babies. All right. I'm all together. Let me see. Got my glasses on over here. Congratulations on your recent victory, Attorney Snow, from Courtney Jacobs. Let's see what else is here. Some more comments. Any comments or questions or anything that you have, make sure that you type them while we have Attorney Snow on, or you can type them later if you're watching the replay, and he'll go back and look at those comments and be able to hopefully respond as well. And Dr. Serrano says, I believe that going beyond the call is where the blessing is. God bless you, sir.
Thank you so much. Kim, I'll tell people that, again, representation does matter. Representation does matter. I would encourage people when they choose a lawyer to make sure they vet that lawyer. Just don't look at the person's ads on Google or on Facebook. Believe me, you need to ask them, how many murder cases have you tried? How many cases have you won? Those are very important questions. And a lawyer who's successful and confident is not bothered by that. You can ask me how many years I've practiced law. You can ask me how many cases I've won, and I'm willing to put my record up. And there's some fine attorneys in Charlotte, but there are also some mediocre attorneys in Charlotte. And so please vet your attorneys well, because representation does matter. You want to know the kind of team they have around them as well.
That's really good. And then another question that came in was, what do you think we can do to fix the criminal justice system? And that came from Cassandra.
Well, what I would say to just regular people, good citizens, is that please try to serve on a jury. Don't try to get out of it. Oftentimes, Kim, we have people of color that try to get out of serving on the juries. And sometimes we get a jury that's not made up of people whom look like us or who represent the entire spectrum of the community. And sometimes when that happens, you get people on the jury who can't conceive that police officers can make mistakes, who can't believe that evidence can be planted sometimes, that can believe that the state can even prosecute a case that they shouldn't prosecute. And so it's very important for people to understand that it starts with you first. So it's important to take that opportunity to serve on the jury. Yes, it takes some time out of your life, but guess what? You may be the person that saves an innocent person's life.
That's really good, really good. And then a final comment and question here. My mom said, "Hey, congratulations, Attorney Snow. Congratulations to you."
Thank you.
And Courtney said, "Do you have a national team outside of the Charlotte area?"
Well, I do practice in the state of North Carolina as well as South Carolina. So, and I have an office in Georgetown, South Carolina, and one in Rock Hill. And of course, my main office is here in Charlotte. But oftentimes I'm called to represent people in other states, and I can represent people in other states if I'm called to do so. I would just have to get special permission from the court, let's say in Illinois, to represent someone. But it is possible.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Well, I can tell you that I'm so honored to have you on with our legal moment with Attorney Kenneth D. Snow. Thank you for being one of our episode sponsors. And his phone number again is 704-358-0026. Email is info@snowlegal.com. And I'm sure you're welcoming everyone with open arms to your firm, correct?
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to meeting you. If you have any questions about criminal cases as well as personal injury, please call us.
All right, everyone. There you have it. We're going to learn more right now about another one of our episode sponsors, and we're going to come right back with these lovely ladies from Rise Up, Women Who Lead, Building a Legacy, spearheaded by Dr. Nefertina Serrano. So thank you so much, Attorney Kenneth D. Snow, for gracing us with your presence today, and you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you. Right. You do the same.
It's not just another day. It's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. SilverShield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. SilverShield Security.
All right, and we are back, everyone. And thank you, Dr. Renee, for me having that whole comment that I said right in the middle of the attorneys. I was like, oh, no, that's a different comment. But as we left off today, we were talking with some of the women that are from the project, and it's a book that's coming out this summer, Rise Up, Women Who Lead, Building a Legacy. Let me remind you that today's episode is also sponsored by SilverShield Security. I personally have them and love their state-of-the-art equipment. 704-440-4688, and their website is silvershield-security.com. So thank you for being one of today's episode sponsors. Okay, Renee, take it away with breastfeeding of the white babies. Bye.
Well, I started with that, but I'm done with that because we don't do that anymore. Thank you, Jesus. Look, all I have to say is your sponsor, Attorney Kenneth D. Snow, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow, because we need people like him. My God, my God, my God.
Absolutely, absolutely. So now tell us about the chapter of your book.
Well, ladies, I'm the oldest of 3 girls, so the pecking order was being accountable, you know, just, you know, taking care of my 2 little sisters, you know, which you can ask them if I did a good job. But in my adulthood, it was an option, you know, it was something that parlayed into my adulthood where I do like and enjoy and I'm very passionate about helping women. And that's why I connected to Dr. Serrano so deeply in Georgia when we were at the same event a few years ago. And so what I want people to know as far as rising up, first of all, rising up is doing things when people are not looking, not when you're in the middle of a crowd or on a stage. It's being of character when someone's not looking. So it's being that person in your group or your peer group that doesn't go along with the bullying, that doesn't go along with, you know, the negative things that are being said, maybe gossip, etc. Rising up is being someone of integrity, close to like the virtual woman in the Bible. And I try to live up to that every day. I really do. Because there are a lot of women that will look at the women on this platform right now, beautiful Black women of different hues, different hues and spectrum colors, and they will look at you and judge and just ignore or try to dismiss you. Women who rise up are inclusive. They go beyond their insecurities. If you walk in a room and someone's making you feel insecure, I challenge you to get over to that woman and give her a compliment. Stop the nonsense and the shenanigans. Come on now. Bam, boom, cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out.
I love it. This is just incredibly inspiring because I am a big believer, Dr. Renee, that we should celebrate other women. And it's a blessing to be able to celebrate others. Why did you embrace celebrating other people and including and inclusion in your journey?
Well, I love it. I mean, you know, I hear this all the time in my life, so I'm going to just repeat it. After I get to know someone, they say, I didn't know you were so nice. I'm nice as anybody else is. I'm not nice as anybody else is, depending on how you come at me. So it's like, you know, I get pigeonholed a lot because my dad gave me these green eyes. I put my eyelashes on. I put some lipstick on every day. I don't wear the bonnets out in public. Come on, that's another show. But
you can check that episode out on my YouTube channel because I did put some different bonnets on.
I shall, because that's a big problem with Black women, in my opinion. Take the bonnets off and look presentable like the queens that you are. But to make a long story short, I just want everyone to win. And we all go through things. My pandemic was in 2017, not 2020. I had a great pandemic, and I feel bad for the people who lost people. My God, that should never have happened. But our pandemics are when our pandemics are. And you don't know. That's why you have to treat people kind, like Tracy said. You have to come in kindness, because you may have a bad day, but if you smiling or kind to someone else, they can make your day.
Yes. Oh, there you have it, everyone. We've heard from Dr. Renee Allen. She's telling everybody to embrace each other. Let's love on each other. Let's show some consideration and kindness. And she said, you come at her one way, she's going to come at you that way. So if she's approachable, you're approachable.
Get it twisted.
So she's like, don't let the green eyes and the eyelashes fool you. Okay. Okay. So I am so glad to have you on today, Dr. Renee Allen. You can stay connected with her at drreneeallen.com. Now, Dr. Serrano, if you want to say anything at any time, just feel free to interject. I'm just going to keep it moving until you say, Kim, girl, don't you see my eyes over here? Like, I want to say something. If you want to say something, have the floor. You're the spearheader of this whole project.
You know, I just want to say these ladies are the bomb.com. I am so grateful to God that he literally chose me for this project to bring on such amazing superstar women that we have. I'm telling you, this lady, she does so much and people pull on her from every angle. Dr. Renee Allen is a beacon, I'm just going to say, and she is such a pleasure to be around and with. She's funny. Yes, she's funny, y'all. But she has such an amazing sense of humor, and even the people that walk with her, I had an opportunity to be at an event. They're so just elated when they're in her presence. So thank you so much for being a part of this. Kim, Tracy, Di, you guys are amazing. The other 30 some 28 people that are part of this project, to you guys that are watching, that are supporting today. I just want to say thank you. You guys are just giving me life. And I thank you, because when you're living your purpose, it encourages you to keep on keeping on.
That's right.
So no matter what hardships you go through, no matter what processes, you have to purpose yourself to be intentional to get through. When you know that you're doing it for purpose, it makes it so much easier to go through the process. So I want to say thank you so much to you guys.
I love it. I love it. I love the energy and excitement that all of us have as a team. And I can tell that the project is going to just really change so many people's lives. Listen, we're going to hear next from Di Carter. And that's going to, I'm so excited. That's going to be right after this commercial break. So let's learn more about, if you're interested in being able to flip houses, you want to definitely check this out.
What's up, y'all? It's Greg Moore, founder of You Can Flip Houses Academy. Listen, I'm often asked the question, how did you get started flipping houses? Listen, I played for the Patriots in the NFL, and in the game against the Browns, I had a career-ending injury. I was devastated, but I used the money from my rookie season. I bought a house, I flipped it. Fast forward to today, and I flipped over 300 properties, man. And listen, I teach people just like you how to do the same. Join me in my academy at youcanfliphouses.com, and I'll see you on the inside.
All right, everyone. Listen, I am so glad to have, I want to make sure that I just share this information. Youcanfliphouses.com. It's an academy that's in process right now, and you can definitely join in. He has a special promotion going. If you go to youcanfliphouses.com and select the Kim Jacobs piece, you're going to get a very discounted rate, and all of the modules are there for you to be able to join in and not miss a beat. So definitely check out youcanfliphouses.com and let them know that the Kim Jacobs Show sent you their way. All right, so let's go ahead and introduce our next lovely author, which is Di Carter. And she is the founder of a nonprofit, Christ Fest PC Christian Concerts since 2014, founder of Social Entrepreneur Leaders, and CEO of a successful distribution center. She's very passionate the youth center and believes she's very passionate about her youth center and believes you are made for more. When Di isn't running her businesses, you can find her spending time with her husband, her two beautiful twin girls, oh my gosh, and helping many of the less fortunate in mission trips. My daughter would love you. She wants to go on a mission trip, by the way. Okay, contact her. I'll give her information to you, but it's Erica, DAI. I will put it up here for you, but welcome, Di Carter. How are you today?
Oh my goodness, I'm doing fantastic. Just to be listening to all of you women here today. You guys just inspire me. Wow. Wow, Kim, what a beautiful show. And Dr. Nefertina, thank you so much for letting me be part of this group, letting me be part of your life and being your friend. And thank you, Tracy, for being here. I was listening to you, girl. Love it. Love your spirit, your smiling face all the time. And Dr. Renee, wow. It's just like, I have no words. I truly, truly feel honor and blessed to be here today with you guys and just be able to talk and just be woman and, talking about legacy, right? That is so important nowadays. We have a lot of women in the world that don't understand the value. They don't see they have a gift, and they need women like us to let them know, listen, I'm here. I was you at some point. I didn't feel validated, but I can see you and I can see that you can do great things in life. So thank you so much for letting me be here.
Well, I'm so excited about you being here. Tell us the name of your chapter and what people can expect when they read your chapter.
Yeah, my chapter, it talks about lead yourself first. So I became an entrepreneur about 8 years ago. And I was that girl, right? I'm from Brazil originally. So my second language is English, and my first one is Portuguese. So I always felt like the imperfect, the unfit, the one that people might be making fun of because your English is not good enough. Of course, nowadays is way, way better, but it wasn't back in the day. I also came from poverty, right? I came from Brazil. So we didn't have a lot of toys. We didn't have a lot of clothes. So it was always hard for me personally to lead, right? How can I lead if I don't have a name? How can I lead when I come from poverty? How can I lead if I don't have money to invest on people? And throughout my journey, I had to understand that it was not about the money, right? It was not about like, you have to know it all. It was actually about your heart. When you can give your heart to someone, they can do amazing things. When you can inspire people with your words, they can go beyond you ever thought they could go. So that's when I had to realize that the gift was in the words, and the words mean lead. And when you can lead yourself first, you will see many leaders just looking at you and be like, oh my goodness, because of her, she said, I believe you, I was able to do more. Because of her, that she said, you look beautiful, I felt beautiful. Because of her, when she said, I have the value, I felt validated.
Wow.
So the chapter, it's really about lead yourself first. It's not about the pandemic itself, but it started an epidemic, right? Like my company back home in Brazil, we lost so much money. And I said, I got to reinvent myself. I got to do this again. And I have done it before. And you know that feeling of success, right? Yeah. But you're not having it, right? I had success. Now I don't have it anymore. I had success again. Oh, now I don't have it anymore. Do I still have it? Do I still got it? Inside of you, you know you have it, but you still need somebody else to tell you, go for it. So the chapter is really about finding a mentor, finding that person that would have believed in me again. So the chapter is about how did I go from $0 to $5,000 a month? Because that's exactly what I needed to be able to survive, right? And I pray to God. I was at this beautiful company. I was there for about 3.5 years. And I said, Lord, I know this is not aligned with me anymore. Right. And it was so hard to let it go, but I knew that I had to. And I prayed to God, and it was no answer. Literally, it was cooking for about 9 months to have that birth. And then one day I was on Facebook because I do everything online on social media. And as I was on Facebook, I saw someone doing a live, and I said, this is it. She is the person that's supposed to take me to the next step. So I truly encourage people to go live on Facebook, to go do your YouTube channel, to go to TikTok. That is the new thing right now, right? To put yourself out there on the Instagram, because somebody is waiting for you to show up. Yes. Because if you don't show up, that person like me will never find you. So I found this beautiful lady. Her name is Sarah Zalaski. And for some reason, I just connected with her. I knew that she was married. I was married. I knew she had 2 kids. I had 2 kids. I could feel her energy. I could feel the God presence on her, right? I didn't know she was a pastor's daughter, but she was. And I said, this is it. She is going to take me. She's going to take me. Woo, it makes me want to cry right now because I just feel the Holy Spirit. I said, I know she's going to take me where I cannot go on my own. So the chapter is talking about ask, seek, and knock. It's the Matthew 7:7, right? 7 is the lucky number, is Jesus' number. So when you ask, to me, it was in prayers and worship and motivational videos. I was sinking, right? I was sinking for that change. And when that change came, was someone else to say, I believe you again.
Wow.
And I want to tell you guys right now, There's somebody out there, it's waiting for you to tell them, I believe in you. I believe in you. You have what it takes to go to the next level. That's it. Have what it takes. Don't let anybody take away from you. When somebody says, I believe you, you receive it. You receive it. And she came to my life. I received that. I say yes to the person and the purpose, right? In my first 30 days, I dive into the business. And I said, nobody's stopping me, because we have a lot of negative people. We have naysayers. We have people that say it's not going to work. But you have to believe in yourself. And he said, you know what? I'm going to show the way. I'm going to lead myself. I'm going to lead myself first. Because if I can't do it, I will be the example that the next person needs to hear. The next person needs to see it and to say, if she can do it, I can do it too. Wow. And in 30 days, I had this amazing, extraordinary, right? Extraordinary results that I couldn't even believe it, that I was going to do it. So the chapters go more in depth and detail. So I say, go and get the book so you get to read the whole chapter. But just to finish it up is that in the end, because I've asked in prayers and in worship, and I stay around the right people, positive people, right? The ones that say, I believe in you, because I sync, which means information and what do I need to do next without complaining or saying someone else can do it, but I can't. I didn't do that. I just said, you know what? I'm going to fail all the way. And that's what I did for 30 days. I failed every day, every day, every day.
But look at where you are now. Look at where you are now.
That's exactly, that's where you go to.
Forward. You fell forward.
Forward, all the way forward. And then after 30 days, all the women feeling expire and say, how did you do it? And I said, hold my hand. Let me take you there.
Get out of here.
And many women came. Many of them are grateful today. Yes, it's a crazy number when they say, how did you go from 0 to 5,000 in 6 months? It's perseverance. It's believing in God and understand that at the end of the day, he is the ultimate leader. You let him lead and he will give you the legacy.
Wow. Yes. What a beautiful note to close on. That's incredible. You heard it right from Dr. Di Carter, and her email is Erica, DAIANA, Carter@gmail.com. And Courtney wanted to let you know that he learned, how do you spell to say that word? Capoeira?
Capoeira.
Capoeira.
Yes. It's a martial arts from back in the day from the slavery in Brazil.
Okay. So he learned that.
Yes.
He said all he has to say is, but God is good.
Yes.
But God. And
yes.
He also said to you, Dr. Serrano, that I'm sure that if you do not do, you will be obsolete. Many have become obsolete during this pandemic. So lots of comments came in. I saw quite a few supportive comments from Dr. Richard Serrano. He said, God makes the connections. We walk through the doors. I didn't want to leave all of these comments off, but make sure, he said, you guys have a great attitude. Courtney said, making sure you reinvent yourself. All of you that are in the studio audience, keep showing up every weekday at 11 o'clock a.m. Your comments matter here on the Kim Jacobs Show. It wouldn't be the same without each and every one of you. thebomb.com, someone said, and beautiful, beautiful. Dr. Renee Allen, beautiful, well said, supportive, lots of comments. Okay, you all definitely do replays and rewatches to start watch parties with everyone and let people, do you have a national? Okay, this is for the attorney. And I know I saw Mother Patricia Lofton on here. I may not see your comment right now, but I just want to say, oh yeah, people want to hear you sing. They like, hey.
You want to hear that singing?
They said, do not. close this show without you singing. That's okay. So you're gonna have to sing, Miss Shy Simmons over there. Good morning, Kim. Can't wait to hear from each of these beautiful ladies. God bless each of you. All right. Hello, Di Carter TV says, hello, ladies. Everybody's so supportive. Thank you guys for tuning into today's episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. And we're so honored that Dr. Nefertina Serrano has blessed us with these women. We're going to hear from lots more coming up. So you're going to probably get to hear from quite a few of these authors. All have dynamic, different stories, different journeys, and they're going to be here on the Kim Jacobs Show sharing their stories with us. So thank you, Dr. Serrano, for blessing us. Okay. Oh, I know you told me to talk about my chapter too, but I don't have time today. We'll talk about it on one of the future ones, okay? So we'll talk about mine in the future. I want to tell you, Cassandra Davis, who's stepping in back there with for Shannon. I just want to say I believe in you and I appreciate you. I know you're doing a lot as a woman that's a mother at 50 years old and going back to law school. I just want to say I support you and I'm proud of you. And she's a wife and lots of other hats, pastor's wife, all kind of stuff. All right. So Dr. Nefertina, any closing comments before we hear Tracy Shy Simmons sing us out?
I just thank you guys so much. Thank you to everyone who joined us today, to those that are going to be joining us later on the replay. I just want to say, just know that you are not alone. We are here to uplift, support, and walk alongside you in this journey called life. And yes, the book is forthcoming this summer, 2021. Look out for it. Rise Up, Women Who Lead, Building Legacy. And as you heard, my Brazilian bombshell, Miss Di Carter, she said, we gotta do what? Support one another. And as I say, just love somebody today. Enjoy your day. And come on, Tracy Shy.
All right, Tracy Shy Simmons, if you could close us out in a song, it can be a brief song or whatever. Tomorrow, make sure you tune in tomorrow. Arnetta Caldwell is going to be right here on the Kim Jacobs Show, and you don't want to miss her story. So be sure to tune in tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Tracy, go ahead and take it away.
All right. Di Carter. You're from Brazil, and I've been to Brazil. I've sung there many times, and I have some tours lined up. And just to have you on here, I'm going to sing a little bit of my single. Is entitled You Love Me, and it's available on all social media outlets. And to Dr. Nefertina and Dr. Jacobs, oh God, I just love you ladies, and I thank you so much. I will give thanks to the Lord for all that he has done. I will worship all my days. To him, the only one. Great is thy faithfulness. You are a sovereign God. Little allergies got me, but I love y'all. And it's all because he loves us. Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, we love you and thank you for blessing us. And let's all support her new single, which is You Love Me.
Yes.
And it's by Tracy Shy Simmons. God bless you all. See you tomorrow at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of the Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Kim Jacobs Show.